Hi everyone, XtremeTrainz here. So, in front of me you can see, yes you can, a 2018 unpainted Thomas Wood Harvey. So, despite the second, or 1.5 wave of Thomas Wood not making it to Australia, Amazon Australia did allow me to purchase a few of those items, including Harvey and Winston, and I currently have Annie and Clarabelle, the, Sweet Wagons, and also the Dow with Thomas wagon, for some reason, available to purchase. So, I will have nearly completed the old 2018 unpainted Thomas Wood versions, and considering that these things are now discontinued exclusive items, I really want to give them a review. So, without further ado, let's take a look at one of the most interesting, I think, Thomas Wood items, and also one of the most interesting Thomas and Friends engines, Harvey. Let's do it. Harvey's box is just the standard Harvey box. Let's have a look at his bio. Yep, so again, this bio seems fine. It seems like they got a bit more normal as they went along, which is good to see. I think the disappointing part about this box is that he has a crane arm, which is quite clearly different, and there's just no explanation of how it works. In the same way there was nothing on Harold to say that he had a little magnet on the bottom, there's nothing to be like, works with engines, or, a picture of it spinning round or something. Just seems like a waste opportunity to demonstrate the fact that this guy does have added play features. So, let's crack him out of the box. And here is Harvey up and out of his packaging. So, let's come in for the face shot. And I think this is quite a good Harvey face. They've done a good job in capturing his really weirdly huge chin. Nice eyes, nice mouth, nice eyebrows. He looks cheerful and cheery, but also very Harvey. Yes, I'm a big fan. So, moving along to what you get. Now, you actually don't get a lot of engine because there's a huge cutout here for this crane part, but I actually think, even though it's obviously not very accurate to how the show works, I think it does definitely look distinctive and look like Harvey, so I can kind of forgive it for being a bit comically proportioned, especially because really, he's a very strange engine, and trying to get accurate proportions has never been something that particularly Thomas Wooden Railway, or obviously Thomas Wood, have managed to capture, or really any of the merchandising lines, to be honest. So, ignoring the crane for a second, what do we get? We get this nice big Harvey on the side, the details along here, and again, Thomas Wood might be underpainted, but you can't fault the printed level of detail they really go to along here. He's got his unique buffers on the front, which is good to see, although again, as you can see, mine looks like it's had a bit of a... the piece of wood has been a bit chipped or something there, because it's not quite smooth all the way up. Although it is rounded actually, which is quite nice. I didn't notice that. It seems like there's this weird rounding going on here. But that's probably just on my copy, so you can see that it's been cut off. Either way, you get the nice printing on that on both sides. Printing black on top there, and then that kind of leaves it for the printing. I think when this guy's painted up, I haven't seen a painted up version, he'll look really nice. One thing to note is he is definitely like, he's not a red, he's a bit of an orange red, and I'll just demonstrate that for you. Here is, you can see here, this is a bright red, like a James red that you got on Stanley's wheels, and Harvey is not that. He's a bit more closer to a maroon red, which I think is quite interesting, and I think, it's a bit unclear sometimes what colour Harvey actually is, but I am quite happy to have him this kind of browny red, just as something a bit different. So, onto the crane. How does it work? So the first thing is that it's actually quite nicely detailed. You've got the gears and the printing along there, you've got that nice arch, and you've got the little magnet. So, the magnet does swing. It's designed so that it doesn't stick to the one at the back, it sticks just above it, you know what I mean, because it's one-way magnets. But if we turn it around, you can see that he will actually magnet to his front, and quite, whether on purpose or by design, I don't know, you can see that his funnel actually goes into the holes on the hook, so he can actually chuff along with his hook in front of him, which is nice, attached. Obviously, he's going to have a hard time seeing, but, I think that's a good play feature to have, and he can also obviously keep it up here and chuff along, because in the show, he does actually have it forward when he is traveling quite often. So that's how that end hook works. The way the actual arm itself works is it can lift up and lift down this far, but it kind of locks here. There's a soft lock here, and above here there's not really any friction, and above here there's not really any friction. So you can see it just kind of falls down. So this is kind of where the it wants to sit, and I think that's okay. It would have been nice to maybe have a point up here and then have a point down there, but it is what it is. Then he has soft locking points all the way 360 degrees around. So there's one there, 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 and there's back at the front. So, you know, you kind of get 6 different points where it locks into place, isn't going to move side to side. It's not going to, if you wiggle him around, the arm's going to stay still. And I think that's good. It gives you some options on being able to, you know, pick engines up and do all kinds of things with him. And this is the kind of features which would have been nice to feature on the actual box. So let's just take a look at how that functionality works. Again, you know, because of his weird proportions, he's a lot smaller than Thomas, but that is the case for a lot of them. I guess my biggest complaint about this is that, oh no, I was going to say they've done a good job and made it so that the front magnet is the one that actually sticks on, which is good. So you can pick Thomas up like this. How useful any of the toy Harveys have been has always been up for debate, I think. But, you know, he can kind of lift the engines and pull them around. And if you had him on another track, you could definitely do this, which I think is good. Yes, you can see there's enough strength there to do that. So I quite enjoy that feature, and that is kind of that. So, what are my thoughts about this Harvey then? I actually think this is one of the best Thomas Wood models, period. I think the, you know, this is an example where he has good play features, the arm works as it's supposed to. Is it accurate to the show? No. But I think it's accurate in just as much as most of the toys have been. Has a good play feature. He looks pretty nice. The face is good. The details that are there are nice. I think when this is re-released fully painted, this will be a very, very good Thomas Wood model. And if you are into Thomas the Tank Engine, if you're into trains, you should pick it up. If I would change one thing, to be honest, it would have just been to make this cab taller. But I think the reason they didn't do that was so that they could, yes, get the arm to come all the way down and sit behind him so he could fit through tunnels and stuff. So I understand that design compromise. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts about this Thomas Wood Harvey. That's all I've got to say about him. Are you excited to see him repainted? Well, I actually think, to be honest, he looks quite fine in the Thomas Wood design, but as some of you will know, I actually quite like the Thomas Wood aesthetic. I like the unpainted look. I just didn't like the dumb designs with stuff like the tenders. So, that's plenty of talking from me in this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to do those cool things you want on YouTube. And as always, that's all we've got time for. This is XtremeTrainz.